Hey, what's up, Forum? It's Gorillahands, and I'm bringing you another Forum breakdown. Last Tuesday, the new map pack First Strike was available on Xbox Live for Black Ops, and I got a couple guys from the forums. Why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up, forum? It's Cortez, and I'm back for another round of discussion.
What's going on, guys? Low blood sugar back once again.
So we had almost a week to play it, and just thought I'd get everyone's thoughts on it. Let's just go right into it. Berlin Wall. It's kind of a larger map, and it's got a kind of a World War II feel, I guess. It just looks like structures you'd see kind of in World War II Germany. For me, I can't say I'm a huge fan of it yet because it feels similar to Rundown almost. You have these three lanes that you can cross, and I only played a couple games on it, but the games I played, I was playing Domination as well. The teams were always just on one side or the other. There was a you always had to run to get to them, and there didn't seem to be a lot of action going on. It felt honestly a lot like Rundown. People were just kind of sitting in the buildings and sniping, or just sitting on opposite ends. I don't know what. How did you guys feel about Berlin Wall?
Well, Berlin Wall, I've probably played the most out of any of the four maps, and you are right in saying it's like Rundown, where you have the three lanes and then the really narrow one in the middle. Like, I play a lot of Domination too, so the B flag is a bitch to capture, but everybody just says, flak jacket plus smoke grenade equals easy cap, so not a whole lot to cover there. But, I mean, more people I see just lightweight marathoning actually more than sniping. People say it's a sniper map, but it's pretty rare that I find people actually trying to hide out in the buildings, and whenever they do, it's with an automatic weapon.
Yeah, I've played it both in Team Deathmatch and Domination, and it's like you said, the three lanes or the three choke points is sort of what I've always thought of as being just your standard like cookie cutter Call of Duty map. That's how
Hmm.
they've always been designed, or a lot of them, not all maps, but back to Call of Duty 4 with the three main choke points, a lot of maps are made like that. And one thing that surprised me is I thought the map in Domination was actually fun. I thought it played fairly well. In Team Deathmatch, that's where I've run into a lot of people sort of hiding back in the buildings with Ghost Pro on. And one thing that surprised me, I thought there'd be a lot of activity at the choke points playing
Hmm.
TDM, but it hasn't been that way. I think that'll change a little bit as the map stays in the rotation longer because it's a fairly well known fact that when new maps come out, you get a ton of people that just like to go sit in a corner
Yeah.
somewhere
Yep.
for like the first week or so after the map pack's released. And I think as people learn the map, you'll see more movement. But I like the design of the map overall, but it is a bit frustrating, at least in TDM, to play right now. A lot of times because of the number of places people have where they can hide. I mean, you can go in almost every building. So
Yeah, I could see that, and I've also heard from other people that's kind of a bigger complaint from the TDM side. It is symmetrical though, so I guess that's for some people that don't like asymmetrical maps or non-symmetrical maps. I guess that's a benefit. Real quick, what is your opinion of the turrets?
Uh, the turrets, well, I really haven't had too much of a chance to experience turrets firsthand, but when I have, it was either just, oh, let's see how far I can get, or there was one point, I think the turrets are a little more sensitive than I thought they were, because what I did one domination game was I took my sniper rifle, I ran out to one of like the outside lanes and tried to see if I could pick people off running toward A or whichever side I was on, and to see if I could get people going on B. I didn't exactly go past the markers, but as soon as I took a step forward off of like the pavement and onto the snow, the turrets, said hello and shot me full of holes.
yeah, so far I thought at first I was like, hey, that's a pretty interesting thing to put in the map because they're trying to make the maps a little more interactive than we've seen in other games. And at first I thought, hey, that's cool, but really now that I've played it a bit, I almost would rather just see them not be there and have a little more room to maneuver on the map because you can get by it with smoke, but really it's just a way to close off a big section of the map without actually putting up some kind of barrier that you can't cross. I mean,
Yeah, it feels a little gimmicky.
yeah.
Okay, well the next map, Discovery. I going into this map, I thought I was going to hate it. It felt like to me it was going to be this big sniper map. It was going to be really slow paced, and I felt like I was always going to be running to get into the action. And I'm not sure which map's bigger, Berlin Wall or Discovery, but I feel like I'm seeing a lot more action in Discovery. Actually, this is if not my favorite map, it's a close second, because there's a lot of kind of flanking routes you can take. If you want to snipe, you certainly have the capacity to do it. There's a lot of long lines of sights, but at the same time, there's a lot of different pathways you can take that have short lines of sights. I even feel like you could be able to do pretty well with an SMG as long as you stay on the perimeter of the map or stay in the buildings. So I don't know. What's your general opinion of that map?
Well, Discovery was probably the first map I saw on like the in-depth thing, and from the start, I had the exact opposite opinion of you, Gorilla. From the start, I was absolutely blown away. I love the scenery. You know, the elephant in the room, the Aurora Borealis. That's just beautifully made, and you know, sightlines are things you do get used to. It's opposite from Berlin Wall being asymmetrical, but for the most part, it's very enjoyable. I probably played it the second most, and it's definitely my favorite map out of the maps that came out.
Yeah, I actually will agree with that. It's probably my favorite of the new maps, and it's a large map, like you said. But what surprises me is that it doesn't play necessarily like to this. You would expect a map that size to play a lot more slowly than what Discovery actually seems to play. And the thing that like Cortez said, the scenery of it is amazing. And the other thing I really like is that it's really conducive to playing, whatever your play style may be, you can adapt it to that map fairly easily. I'm not much of a sniper. That's probably pretty well known. I've actually sniped on that map effectively. I've used an assault rifle, and I have run around on the map effectively with the SMG. So I was really surprised at how well you could really take any type of play style in the map and just run with it. I've played it in TDM and Domination, and I thought both game types played very well on that map. And I'm overall, I think it's definitely my favorite of the new maps.
Yeah, I think they really did a great job in just overall level design. I think whatever play style you like, as long as you know how to do it, you can accomplish it in that map effectively. Now, I kind of have the opposite opinion of the next map, Kowloon. That to me